All right, what is going on, everyone? This is Captured Racing here, and let's go showcase. So, just finished a race, one of the daily races here, and let's see. Let's go through the replay because this was a pretty intense race, but I feel like there were some times when I got a little overzealous, and I did have 2 points of contact. But one of them, I don't think it was my fault necessarily, but the other one, potentially. But you guys, y'all make that call. So let's look at this replay here. So a lot of the times I'm racing in the cockpit view like this, but I know you'll probably want this kind of view for the replays. So I started off in P7. That's where I qualified. So this is D-Force Raceway, but it's backwards. So it's definitely a challenging track, a lot of hairpin turns, and the M6 GT3 is definitely a tail-happy car. Let's look. There we go. So we're off to a smooth start. But this is a very tricky beginning of the race. You can see one guy already spins out, and then boom, I already get hit. Save it. I've got the Huracan behind me. They're battling, and I have to be on the defense this early on. Tires aren't warm yet. I let them go by just because I figured if I would have taken the hairpin, they probably would have hit me, and I didn't want that. There goes another one, so now I'm P7. Now going through that S there can be difficult because you got a really rapid area where the back wheels can get off the ground. Going through these hairpins is definitely a challenge, especially if there's a lot of traffic here. So the M6 that you see in front of me, this guy is actually pretty quick. But you'll see pass him. So now I'm up to P6, and now I'm chasing P5 and onward, but it's going to be fairly difficult just because I'm out of their slipstream, and now you can see he's making a move on me, even though we're in virtually the exact same car. FYI. I try to give him enough space so that way he can do what he needs to do, but here I brake a little earlier. You can see little contacts made. I wanted to brake a little earlier just to give him some room because I didn't want contact to be made, but unfortunately I feel like that was a mistake on my end. But we both made it out perfectly fine. He got the pass, and yeah, so here we are, staying really close to him. He took the inside route for sure. Hit the apex there. Going through those S's again. See, he gets very loose there, which I do too, but you see, I didn't want to cause another incident, so I definitely let him have that space there. Going through another hairpin here. So now the tires are definitely starting to get warm, which is great. Grip is getting better. Not necessarily for him, it seems. See, he's definitely being a little bit more on the defensive side. You can see there's 3 M6s here, and that Huracan definitely slowed people down, but here we go. We're going for the 3-wide split. I don't even know how to pronounce his user tag. Loco? Not sure. Either way, we both clear the Huracan. Now it's M6, M6, M6. Trying to brake. Definitely ended up taking that turn wide. Huracan got the pass, but M6 is definitely quick, especially once boost kicks in. Pass the Huracan. those two M6s in front of me are definitely still battling, kind of hoping they'll slow themselves down. You can see Huracan gets a little bit to the inside. We don't make contact, which is great. Going through the S's, there's a yellow flag. I'm not sure for what though, probably an earlier incident that already cleared. So pretty much from this point forward, I'm doing my best to try to make some moves anywhere I can here. This guy in this M6 is just very, very defensive, as he should be. You can see we're all three trying to make something happen here. Huracan's still in my rear, but here I'm close enough to where I think I can get into a slipstream. I'm ever so slightly behind the guy. Huracan's pretty much out of the picture, so now we're just trying to get some positions here. See if I can get P5. Slow him down through this turn. Alright, so here we go. Get there. Really, really close, but you notice how he cuts that turn very short at the end of the turn. That's going to be a big point in the near future. I think on the next lap, as a matter of fact. But I'm in a slipstream now. We're just duking it out here, trying to race clean. I'm trying to get closer to him, trying to keep up the pace. Him and the guy in front of him are definitely very, very quick. And mind you, we're on medium tires. Ooh, see, you got a little loose there. I'm telling you, that little S curve there with the elevation change really throws you for a loop. On here, got a little bit of loose. Got a little loose there. All right, so now we're all three getting pretty fairly close to each other. We're definitely in draft zones for sure. Take a wide entry, get to the apex. I'm definitely in their draft, so I'm trying to hold on, trying to see if I can make something happen here. So here is where I believe the incident happens. So he goes there, cuts it short again, turns into me. Now, if you guys see it any other way, or if y'all think that was my fault, definitely let me know in the comments below, because, you know, in my eyes, I think, you know, that was kind of my fault. But again, you know, I could be wrong. I could have come out of that turn a little too aggressive. So that can be back a little bit on time. Now we got the Supra here. So the Supra here is going to be the next important one. So me and the Supra actually spend quite a bit of time together. He's very, very defensive. I mean, this is probably one of the more defensive drivers in this actual race. The Supras definitely have a lot of straight line speed, but they're also very agile in the corners, but they're very tail happy as well. So if you're not careful, you can definitely spin that thing out. So I'm trying to give him a little bit of space. I'm noticing that it's fairly easy for me to gain on him. I didn't want to go too aggressive in that turn. So now I'm just chilling in his draft. That way I can keep up, because honestly, if I wasn't in his draft, he could definitely leave me. Those Supras are just fast in a straight line. But with him being very defensive, I have to be just as defensive in terms of braking room and such. So here, see, he braked really, really early. Here too, a little bit of contact there. He's perfectly fine. We're both just cruising along. Still in his draft. We're still trying to make something happen. Giving him his space to make whatever move he needs to. Definitely don't advise being overly aggressive and making contact when it's not needed. Got a little loose there. You can see I had a counter steer mid-turn. There's the second contact. That was definitely my fault. I was way too overzealous in that turn. couldn't slow down in time, but luckily he didn't spin out or anything. So keeping it going here. And he's still racing just as hard. He's definitely being as defensive as always. Trying to stay in his draft. He does get a little further away there. You can see the Huracan's back there, just by himself, and then there's a Corvette behind him. That Corvette actually ends up being extremely quick. Now, some of the things about this specific race, you got to change tires at least once. It's not really a fuel-based race, meaning fuel isn't going to be the enemy here. But I started the race on mediums, and then going to have to switch it to hard tires. But I'm just going to ride out the medium tires for as long as I can here because they're still fairly grippy. Still trying to catch up to the Supra. This he's definitely fast, no doubt about it. But I think he knows that I'm hanging with him and he doesn't want to lose his position. So we're both just trying to keep it together here. But here's where it gets a little dicey. So I get the turn a little bit too wide here. Got a little loose there, but kept it. See, I'm hanging on to him. Through that turn, I don't really brake as much as I do, just lift off the throttle. So here, see, I make the turn, make the pass, but it's not over yet. So he's definitely in my draft, and he's already in a quicker car. So I have to decide whether I'm going to be super defensive or just let him pass. Interestingly enough, he doesn't go for a pass, but instead he just pushes me in the draft. But now you can see, make a little bit of contact there. Then I end up hitting that turn really, really wide. He gave me space. So this is kind of the epitome of just rubbing his racing. And honestly, like I'm not even mad with the contact and such. Granted, it's probably my fault, but it's nice because he's racing really hard, racing really, aggressively, but not overly aggressive. And you see he makes the pass there. Again, those Supras are fast. So now, back to square one. Got to see if I can get the position. So, if you haven't noticed, he's P3 and I'm P4. Oh, here's some contact made. Let's actually, let's go back a little bit here. Let's look at that again from this view. So here, we're going through this S, the elevation change. I think I was a little overzealous there, but I don't know. Maybe I feel like he could have saved that. I don't know. Maybe I was definitely wrong there. I don't know if they're going to watch this video, but if they do, I sincerely apologize. So now you see the Huracan has definitely passed us. So now I got to get up that position. And for some reason, it's fairly easy to get past him. He was definitely trying to do a switcheroo there, but couldn't hang to it. And now I am P3. So lap 8 of 14, I am P3. I believe one person did pit already, which is why I got an extra position. And you can see my lap times on the right hand side, just steady in the 128, mid to high range. So now we're just cruising. You see the Corvette in the back there. He's got a penalty, only half a second, but half a second can definitely mean a lot. So now it's me, the Huracan. Huracan's just chilling back there, but I'm not seeing him as a necessary threat. But I'm definitely watching my corner entries just because I know he is definitely a little bit on the more aggressive side going into the corners. I learned that on lap 1. So far he's doing good. This is kind of where I really started feeling the lack of grip because you can see all my tires are definitely about halfway. My right rear probably has the most life out of all my tires, but definitely feeling the lack of grip here. But as you feel the lack of grip, you can adjust throttle, braking, all that on the fly, and just really feel out the car. Here, going for a pit stop, and you see the Corvette follow suit. So you see 3 people there have already decided to pit. You can see gas-wise that Corvettes use a little bit more than the BMW. I chose not to get any gas just because, again, I'm not going to run out of gas with 5 laps to go, or 4 laps, whichever. So, switch to hard tires. So now I gotta figure out the dynamic of the car again, the hard tires. And if you notice, there's that Supra again right in front of me. He hasn't pitted yet, so that's why he got in front of me. But now I've got to speed up and try to see if I can get some position back. I know I'll get it back from him, but at the same time, if I end up being faster than him, even though he's on worn out medium tires and I'm on new hard tires, I don't want to slow myself down trying to get past this fresh traffic here. So you see turns take a little bit more effort there. Traction's a little bit less there on the hard tires, but we're cruising. Got really sideways there going through the S's. But now that Corvette back there, keep an eye on him because he is going to be a serious threat. And if I recall correctly, they actually do have a faster lap time than I do. So now, at this point, I know I have to be on the defense because any moment they can gain on me. And my main point is I don't want them to get into the slipstream. So typically when you're about 5 to 6/10 of a second back, you're still within their slipstream. So he is back there. His car is a little bit faster than this M6 GT3. Not by much, but I think, if I can hold him out through the corners and such, I can keep my position. But again, at the same time, you can see the Supra there. I'm trying to make sure that I can catch up and pass him without, having to worry about losing any time from that Corvette. And that Huracan, holy cow, just went through. I don't think that's the same Huracan as, nope, the other Huracan's way back there. Long straight. Deep Forest Raceway is definitely one of my favorite tracks. I love how intricate the tight turns are. The amount of finesse you have to have with these cars, especially with the elevation changes in the middle of the S-curve. I mean, it's pretty intense. All right, so it's lap 11. New tires are definitely getting a little bit stickier as they're probably getting warmer. See him gaining on the Supra. Corvette staying where he is. Trying my best just to keep a good distance, but I also don't want to lose traction. Supra goes into pits. So now I am back in P4. So now it is strictly about maintaining position and staying on the defense. Definitely don't want to be losing out on a position with that Corvette. Look at that Corvette, shall we? So he's definitely got a quick car. Keep it in this view for a little bit. Let's go to turns. Corvette's pretty much just using the same driving line as I am. I don't think he's being overly aggressive. He's just trying to pretty much use the motif of slow and steady wins the race. He's definitely starting to get closer. And I'm not gonna lie, at this point, I'm starting to overthink a little bit and making a few mistakes here and there, whether it's throttle input, braking zones. So far, keeping it good. was definitely a slower lap for me. See that Corvette though, he's back there. So we got 2 whole laps to go. So he's definitely close enough to where if I make one mistake, he can easily take advantage of it. Took that turn well. He's back there. He's actually getting pretty close, and at this point, he's not too far out of the slipstream range where he can get close to me. Took that turn quite a bit wide there. Corvette's definitely gaining on me at this point. So now, I'm trying to focus quite a bit more, try to make every turn, every pedal movement count. See, I'm going faster than my fastest lap of the race on hard tires, but look how close this Corvette is. He is definitely gaining on me. Definitely has me nervous here. Through the straightaway, he is on me. So this is the last lap. So I'm trying to break up that slipstream. He is very close. I know if I make a mistake, it is over. So I'm trying to finesse every movement. He is on my tail. And if I'm a betting person, he's probably within slipstream distance. So now I have to watch myself. Tires are wearing a little bit. This guy, I will say, he is racing very clean, but he's definitely gaining quite a bit. Want to make sure I don't mess it up through the S's. Perfect execution. Here, I hit it really wide, but so did he. Now we're both going through the turns. I feel like I can hold him off just a little bit more. I'm pulling away ever so slightly from him. So at this point, as long as I maintain this last curve, we're golden. But look at this. Pull out, I get a little loose. Look at him sliding back there. Held on, and we finished the race in P4. Corvette finishes in P5. That was definitely a great race. Definitely a lot of things to be learned as far as feeling at the car on those different tires and braking zones and such. But man, that was definitely a wild ride. I feel like if there was one more lap left of the race, we might have had a chance of losing that position from the Corvette. There we go. That's one of our daily races here. Again, leave your comments about those points of contact, because I feel like I am definitely to blame for some of them, but some of them maybe not. So in saying that, it's Captured Racing, and I'm out.